Hi, friends. How are you all doing? I hope you are all safe and healthy. It has been a long time since we've been together at Hess Street School. I miss you all, but no, we must do this to keep everyone safe, and we will be together again back at Hess one day. Have you been helping around your house? Have you been doing chores? What kind of chores have you been doing? Are you enjoying our Forest of Reading journey? I know I am. I think it is going to be hard to choose my favorite from the 10 books. What about you? The 10 books are part of the Blue Spruce category of the Forest of Reading 2020. These books are special picture books to share with students in elementary schools. We have a copy of each of the 10 books in the library. When we go back to school, you will be able to borrow these special books. When we have finished reading all of the 10 books, you will pick your favorite. You will be able to vote for the book you think is the best. We will then be able to see which book has the most votes at Hess. I wonder which book will win at Hess. Here are the covers of all 10 books. Don't they look interesting? Isn't this a great adventure? I am really enjoying sharing these great Canadian books with all of you. Do you think your favorite book will be the same as mine? Do you think your favorite book will be the same as your teacher's? Do you think your favorite book will be the same as your friends? Or do you think your favorite book will be your class's favorite book? Or even the favorite book at Hess? We will see when we have finished all of the books. Last week's book was Mustafa, written by Marie-Louise Gay. Mustafa moves to a new country and feels invisible, but after a while he begins to become part of his new world. We have already read Emma's Gems by Anne Renaud, where Emma learned from her grandpa how important it is to be generous in her life. Giraffe and Bird Together Again by Rebecca Bender. Giraffe doesn't hesitate to find and rescue his friend Bird. The Magic Boat by Kit Pearson and Catherine Ferris. With help from Piper, Ellie discovers she has her own vivid imagination. Me, Toma, and the Concrete Garden by Andrew Larson. Vincent and Toma throw dirt balls around a vacant lot, but a beautiful garden grows. A Plan for Pops, written by Heather Smith, illustrated by Brooke Kerrigan. Lou spends every Saturday with Grandpa and Pops. They walk to the library hand in hand like a chain of paper dolls. Granddad reads books about science and design. Pop listens to rock and roll, and Lou bounces from lap to lap. But everything changes one Saturday. Pop has a fall. That night there is terrible news. Pop will need to use a wheelchair, not just for now, but for always. Unable to cope with his new circumstances, he becomes withdrawn and shuts himself in his room. Hearing Granddad trying to cheer up Pops inspires Lou to make a plan. Using skills learned from Granddad and with a little help from their neighbors, Lou comes up with a plan for Pops. Remember, the author is the person who writes the story. Originally from Newfoundland, Heather Smith now lives in Waterloo, Ontario. Heather has written some chapter books for young adults that have won awards. Heather has also written 3 picture books, Angus All Aglow, A Plan for Pops, and The Phone Booth in Mr. Heroda's Garden. Heather's Newfoundland roots inspire much of her writing. The illustrator is the person who draws the pictures in the story. Brooke Kerrigan has illustrated over 10 picture books. Brooke's creativity is inspired by all sorts of things: the mountains, the sea, the clouds, the flowers, but mostly her somewhat overactive imagination. She has loved to draw ever since she was a little girl, so it seemed only natural that she would grow up to be an artist. Born in Toronto, Ontario, she currently lives with her husband John in the French Alps. While you are enjoying the book, I would like you to think about what is your favorite thing to do on a Saturday? We are very lucky because the author, Heather Smith, is going to read the story, A Plan for Pops, to us on YouTube.
Hi, my name is Heather Smith, and this is my book, A Plan for Pops. This book was published by Orca Book Publishers, written by me, Heather Smith, and illustrated by the amazing Brooke Kerrigan. Let's read A Plan for Pops. Every Saturday, Lou visits Granddad and Pops. They start their day with breakfast. Granddad has toast with jam. Pops has colorful cereal, the kind that turns the milk pink. Lou has both. The jam is sweet and the cereal tastes like a rainbow. Over breakfast, Lou's grandparents share the paper. Granddad reads the science and technology section. Pops reads the comics. While they read, Lou plays with the paper umbrellas Pops had put in their juice. Granddad says, "Lou, did you know that umbrellas have ribs?" Lou shows Pops the delicate paper canopies. No matter how hard they look, they can't seem to find them. After breakfast, they go to the library. They walk hand in hand like a chain of paper dolls. They move slowly through the neighborhood because Pop's legs don't work like they used to. Lou doesn't let go till they get there. At the library, Granddad reads about how things are made. Pop sits at a computer watching rock and roll videos. Lou goes back and forth between the two and learns that zippers are made from teeth, and Elvis was king. At lunchtime, Granddad has boiled eggs. Pops invents a new meal, spaghetti on waffles. He adds hot sauce for zing. Lou has both. The eggs are buttery soft and the spaghetti tastes like fireworks. After lunch, Granddad tinkers with nuts and bolts and bits of wood. Pops listens to music. Lou hammers 6 nails and tightens 10 screws. Then, as lunch settles, Lou curls up with Pops and listens to stories about the old days when Pops used to shake, rattle, and roll. When Pops falls asleep, Granddad and Lou do what they do every Saturday afternoon. They build. Granddad sketches an idea. The machine doesn't work the first time, or the second, or the third. Lou says, "It'll never work." Granddad says, "Always remember the 3 P's: perseverance, persistence, and patience." Granddad squints at their contraption. "I think the problem is with this ramp." He makes an adjustment and smiles. "Lou, go wake Pops." Together, they watch as a golf ball hits a switch that turns on a fan that blows a toy car, that rolls down a ramp and topples a book, that opens a box, that pulls on a string, that releases to the sky a flock of paper cranes. Pops cries, "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear." He says, "I've never seen anything so beautiful." The following Saturday begins the same as the last. Granddad and Pops shares the paper. Lou plays with the paper umbrellas. But on the way to the library, something terrible happens. Pops has a ball. Sirens ring in Lou's ears. The ambulance takes Pops away. That night, there is news. Pops will need a wheelchair, not just for now, but for always. Weeks of Saturdays go by. Pops does not come out of his room. Granddad whispers, "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear." Granddad and Lou eat alone. They add hot sauce to every meal. Neither can taste the zing. Alone in the afternoon, Lou plays with their contraption. The machine doesn't work the first time, or the second, or the third. Maybe, Lou thinks, the cranes don't feel like flying. Rock and roll music floats from the next room. Granddad is trying hard to make Pops happy. Lou squints at the ramp. Maybe what it needs is a little adjustment. When the cranes are released to the sky, Lou cries. Then, as lunch settles, Lou begins to sketch. Granddad says, "What are you doing, Lou?" "I'm making a plan for Pops." Granddad and Lou put their plan into action. They persevere, they persist, and they try to be patient. It's a big job for two people. Rat-tat-tat, whir, whir, whir. The neighbors come to help. Soon the sketch becomes reality. But Pops is still too sad to leave his room. The next day, Lou comes up with another idea. While Pop sleeps, Lou and Granddad work quickly and quietly. They place a sign next to his bed. "Pull me." They wait. Soon they hear switches switching, wheels turning, gears spinning, seesaws rocking, and marbles rolling. Then click, 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 the dominoes topple all the way to the stereo. A moment later, Pop's favorite rock and roll song blares from the speakers. When the music ends, Lou brings Pops a glass of juice. A paper umbrella decorates the rim. Pop says, "I think I might like to go to the library today." When Pop sees the ramp, he cries, "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I've never seen anything so beautiful." Lou pushes the wheelchair bumpity bump over the cracks in the sidewalk. Pop says it feels like the old days when he used to shake, rattle, and roll. At the library, Granddad reads about how things are made. Pop sits at a computer watching rock and roll videos. Lou goes back and forth between the two and learns that the plastic bits on shoelaces are called aglets and that the jitterbug is a dance. And that's the end of A Plan for Pops. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for listening.
That was a good story. I hope you enjoyed seeing how Lou helped Pops feel better. Have you ever made a plan to help someone make something better for themselves? Have you been able to help your grandparents do something? Let's talk about what we learned. After Pop's fall, he needs to use a wheelchair. How does he feel? How does the author help us know how Pops is feeling? After Pop's fall, he won't come out of his room, and Granddad and Lou eat alone. The author writes they add hot sauce to every meal, and neither can taste the zing. What can you infer about Lou and Granddad are feeling? At the end of the story, Lou goes back to the library with Granddad and Pops. How are the characters feeling? How do you know that? What clues have the author and illustrator given you? Our follow-up activity. After Pop's fall, Granddad and Lou do their best to try to cheer up Pops. Write about how you could help cheer up someone who needs a friend. What could you say or do? How could you show them kindness? This week, I want to challenge you to a cooking challenge. At lunchtime, Pop invents a new meal, spaghetti on waffles with hot sauce for zing. If you could invent a new meal, what would it be? With supervision, make a new meal for your family. What was it? Was it good? Did everyone like it? Did everyone eat it? Well, everybody, that is our work for this week from the Huss Street Virtual Library. I have loved being with you again this week. I hope you liked our story, A Plan for Pops, and the follow-up activities. I hope you created a really fun meal for your family. Have a good week. Stay safe, be kind and helpful, and enjoy reading lots of books, and maybe even do some more cooking.